Okay, it seems like I am live now, so hello everyone. I'm NullSprite. This is Donkey Kong 94, which is pretty much, we just call it Donkey Kong 94 because it was released in 94. That's the only way we did just differentiate between the other Donkey Kong games. So, let's see, I'm gonna start off by getting the correct RNG for this. There we are. So there is a bit of RNG manip, which I will go into a little bit later on as we get into it. But I believe we are ready for the run. So I'll just go ahead and say, this is it. So I'm guessing this is gonna look familiar to a lot of people. But with the opening with the classic arcade opening, but hey, we have some new weapons for this. So yeah, not going for the scores. Sorry about that, Billy Mitchell. So a lot of this game is actually just good tech with backflipping and triple jumps, which this game actually got before Super Mario 64 did. Let's see. Okay. So what happened there is I was a little bit... I'm getting some... I'm hoping the sound is better now, guys. So he went there. Here's this guy. So because I start the game when I did, I know exactly how the movement is going to be for these guys. Let's see. See. Hopefully this helps, guys. Seems my audio is a bit low. I tried turning it up now. If it's still low, then just let me know. So now we're done with the first part of the game. This is where it really picks up. This is a long game too. It actually has 101 stages if you count boss stages. So that's pretty big for like a Game Boy game. We're also going to introduce some neat tricks, if I can. There we go. The wall jumps in this game, I know, is a big pain to new runners especially, who are trying to pick up this game, because the wall jumps are quite tricky. See them a lot. Small stall. Ah, too bad. And yes, you do die in the game. In this game, it's not a question about if you're going to die, it's a question about when you're going to die. Just throw the key up instead. There's a lot of risky strats, and because you're only small Mario in the game, in this game at least, and there are no power-ups whatsoever, pretty much anything you touch is going to kill you. There we go. Okay, so another wall kick here. Please. Ah, close. There we go. Nice. Didn't get squished. Good. So the wall jumps in this game have two parts to them. First of all, you have to jump into the wall at a specific angle. And second of all, you actually have to hit the button at the right frame. Or not the right frame, but during the right frame window. I believe it's something like 3 frames or something like that you can actually jump off the wall. And it's absolutely not an intended thing. This is a glitch, and it's quite hard to execute, especially when you're trying to go fast. And so we see we have some Because in these cutscenes, the game likes to show you new things you can do. Sometimes it's useful, other times the game just blatantly lies to you, which we'll see pretty soon. So what I'm trying to do is just gently get off, and then mash to get the backflip. Ah, ometer grab, that's fine. So for this part of the game, it's mostly just about trying to execute as well as you can. So like here for instance, if I am too early with this, the fireball on the right is going to hit me. So I have to sort of time this. Close, but fine. So I'll climb down a bit to let him get out of the way for me. Good. Try not to bonk on the fireball again. As I've said before, you are going to die in the game, because there are a lot of high-risk strats, and also the enemies sometimes have really big hitboxes for whatever reason. And you can die in all kinds of spectacular ways in this game. Let's see if I can get that, that's good. So looking aside from the death, this was actually a quite good city. And the boss RNG here is, there's nothing I can really do about it. The RNG for the game works so that every time something accesses RNG, it also changes the value. So what we do for that is we sort of try to keep track of how many changes we have to the RNG and try to act accordingly. But there is nothing you can do with Mario alone that will change the RNG value. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is a little bit of RNG manip. This was actually discovered a little bit by accident when we found out that resetting to skip these map transitions between two maps is faster, but it also comes with the side effect that when you do reset, the RNG actually resets as well. So we use that to make the game do what we want. Got the right seed. There are two seeds you can get. The first and the last, which I'll talk about later. And now we're actually getting a quite neat little trick I'm gonna do with the key here. So I'll go up to the key. There are backflip grab it. Tumble once, tumble twice. The key is stuck, but I still have the key. No problem. So, I don't know why that works. It works. That's about as much as you can say for it. We sort of tricked the game into believing Mario still has the item. Okay. Not enough height, apparently. I'll just... There we go. Don't bonk on that guy, please. Thank you. So now the key is stuck again. There we go. And I can repick the key, actually. It's just stuck in midair. And Mario still has it. And you can do that with all kinds of items. Some of the enemies, it's there we go. It's a fun thing. So because I have the RNG that I have, I know exactly what this boss is gonna be like. So I'm just gonna run up there. See ya. Good. I know this guy is gonna go short and to the left, no problem. It's not magic at all. It's more the fact that the game sort of tries to handle us doing things it didn't anticipate for. And so it sticks the key, but it still sort of tracks the fact that you have the key in the game. So it doesn't actually clear the value of which item Mario is holding. And the good thing about that is that we can climb ladders, we can do jumps, so that makes it a lot faster. These stages are just basically up until 2-7, just try and get the movement right. Here we go. So let's get the bug jump. I know a lot of people hated this stage when they were kids and played this casually. It's actually quite simple. You go over here, and then we do a handspring jump. And there we go. Hey, got the bug boost. Nice. So, we're coming up on sort of like a hard trick now, because we have to do a wall jump with a handspring. I'm gonna try and get this first try. But it's a tough trick. Come on, Mario. There we go. So it works the same as a wall jump. The only difference is I use a handspring jump instead. And that allows you to gain a lot of height. I see a lot of the Danky Can Gang in chat right now. How you doing, guys? Watch me not softlock here. Hey, nice. You can softlock in that stage if you are too far over to the left. That just ejects Mario up, and then you get stuck, and you can never actually finish the stage. So, for this game, the world record right now is a 1 hour 3 minutes 10 seconds by PTO1. And my PB is a 1 hour 5 minutes 8 seconds. 103 anything is absolutely insane for this game. For this category, at least. Okay, so I'm just going to use an audio cue here, so I'll shut up for a bit. Come on. Try not to get by the spider. Good. And yes, by the way, guys, that is Pauline. You know, the girl who sings in Super Mario Odyssey. In this game, she does nothing but make this meowing noise. She sounds a little bit like a cat stuck in a helium balloon. If you actually play this on SGB, she has like an enhanced voice, so she just sounds like a normal cat instead. I'm gonna do 5 backflips. That's what I'm gonna do here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. We call it 5 backflips, and if you even fail one of them, it's usually a real bad time. I'll talk a little bit more about that extendo a little bit later, as soon as I'm done with this monkey. There we go. Hey. And food for thought, someone was actually paid money to draw this monkey butt. Think about that for a minute. Good so far. I know a lot of runners hate Forest, but it's actually one of my favorites. There's a lot of cool tricks in it. So now we're coming up on ship. The English in this game is sort of almost there, because there was no actually like different releases. This was just released worldwide, so the English might be a little so-so here and there. And here are these guys. These are not Womps, by the way. These are Usun. According to the manual, at least. And they look really angry, they walk around, but they don't actually, like, do anything. I see chat talking about monkey butts right now, that's good. And here are these guys. These are Sir Shovelots. They push you around. No joke, these are actually called Sir Shovelots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll backflip grab here, and then press B as I land, and then I have the key again. Oh, the crab went that away. So the crabs in this game are quite RNG dependent. They can change the RNG value for like 3 to 4 times every time they move. I'm hoping this guy's gonna go right. He did. Cool. That means I can just... see ya. Go up, get the key, throw it here. I handspring there because that means I won't grab the hammer. They can absolutely crush you against the wall. They, no problem. The shovel-outs will kill you on sight. They seem a little bit panicky, you know, they spot Mario and just run like hell. If I could just backflip, that would be awesome, thank you. I know you're gonna flip, so it's fine. I'm gonna try... okay. Thank the stars. But I missed the cycle. That sucks. I worked so hard for nothing. Alright. So far so good. Coming up now is... I talked about the shovel-outs a little bit. And what you want to do about them is... basically just stay out of their line of sight, mostly. There is one stage here where I am going to hope he lands facing left, and if he doesn't, I'll lose 5 seconds. And that's pretty common for the game, is that this game has a lot of these teeny tiny time losses here and there, for no good reason. And yeah, it's fun time all around. Like that. Like missing the backflip instead of... like doing a normal jump instead of doing the backflip. I'll just wait for you because you're a... So I backflip grab, tumble once. This means I can just dive down all the way to the door. No problem. This next thing is probably going to look a little tight, and it is, but it's usually quite safe. So I'll just place it here, then borrow the edge of that, and see ya. The hitboxes for those guys are a bit smaller than they look, so you can just do that, no problem. So here's the shovel-out I'm talking about. I'm gonna drop him down and hope and pray he faces left. Please, thank you. If he had faced right, I couldn't do this. Place the ladder, there we go. You can actually misplace that and waste like 8 seconds, no problem. And this is not an SGB run, and I am pretty sure everyone in here knows why. SGB is slower. So there you go. Bit of acrobatics to get up as fast as I can here now. Bum, 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 bum. There we are. The monkey was slow, so no problem. This boss is kind of easy. There's nothing much going on, really. The problem is if he is super duper fast with the cycles, then it can be a problem getting up in time. Okay. So, we're going into jungle now. Jungle is a major reset point in every run. Because it's super duper tough. And there's a lot of things that can go wrong for all kinds of different reasons. There are a lot of critters that can just absolutely screw you over. And now we're coming into this interesting thing. I'm gonna wait until I see DK's eyes here. That tells me I have the last RNG seed I can get from that animation. That animation there changes the RNG 54 times. The only like 2 values you can get reliably when pressing start are the first and last. So you'll hear me talking about first seed and last seed quite a bit. Oh, come on. And I'm gonna watch this croc. He went up. Okay. So that means I'll have to be a little bit slower in 4-3 than I normally would be. And this is like handstand city right here. Do a backflip onto the rope, get the key, get the crusher, and there we are. These are crushers, by the way, not womps. I guess the correct name would be crusher, which is the Japanese name for it. So here I'm gonna do an extendo. Nice. By handspringing up on the spring and holding down and pressing at the right time, Mario goes a little bit higher than he normally would. And you can abuse that in this stage. You're not meant to go up there with the monkeys. And now we get to say hello to our old friend DK Jr. We usually refer to him as RNG Monkey in this game, because that's what he is. He is a frickin' flea bag of a monkey that is RNG controlled, and he is here to ruin your day. That's all he does. He will flip switches, he's gonna throw mushrooms at you, which in this game makes you small. Hey! That's a nice change. Or not. But DK Jr. is terrible. He's absolutely terrible in this game. And we also get to say hello to, I hope not at least. If you collect all the 3 items, the bonus items, with the hat, the umbrella and the purse. I have 2. If I collect the last one, I'll get a bonus game, which you totally don't want to get. Thank the stars I didn't. Okay. And if you get the bonus, it's a big time loss. Duh. There's not too much to say here, other than the fact that this stage is probably one of my least favorites casually, because you can just mess up in a lot of different ways. For here though, I'm just gonna place these and jump into the spiders. That was smart. Hey, that's a good strat. For some reason I thought they were over to the right. No problem, I can do this again. I have plenty of time. Okay. I'll keep my eyes spilled this time, guys. That's still fine. You can get up there. See, that's the movement I kind of wanted. I'll wait for the bats. The bats don't actually kill you in this game, they just suck your blood until Mario turns pale and then fall down. And here's another RNG monkey stage. He can really screw you over here. He can waste like 30 seconds, no problem. Let's see, I'll backflip over you and pray. Okay. So the way he can screw you over is you can get the key and he can just sort of dance around instead of flipping the switch. But he did this time, so he probably knows I'm gonna skin him alive if he doesn't play nice today. Oh, good. The croc went right. That means I'll have to kill him with this coconut. I think this is a coconut. I have no idea. It looks kind of weird. And now, though, now comes the big first trick, which is spike jump. Spike jump is a pixel-perfect jump across a gap of spikes. Not only do you have to get it once while running, you actually have to get it on the way back too. So there are 2 spike jumps. And you can bet your ass I'm gonna fail them. Nah, not really. But it's quite common to fail the spike jump in a run. And if you do, it's no big deal. Let's go. I'm looking for a specific spot on the floor. That's 1. Good. Ah! 1 pixel off. God damn it. One more time. Let's go. We have time for this, no problem. The estimate is 115. That means I can miss spike jump another 50 times. Okay. This is all pretty normal actually in the GK94 speedrun. I've had runs where I PB'd even after missing this like 5 times. Come on. That's one. There we go. Nice. Okay. So it's actually not that tough of a trick, to be honest. Yeah, I see a lot of pog channels and stuff, I know. Okay, so I got the first one. I know. This is how the game works. Alright, well, here's our not so good friends, the frogs. But he went right this time, thank you. The frogs are kind of slippery in that you can really fall off them quite easily. The snapjaws are kind of terrible. That was close. So I am going to have to be real fast here. Let's see if I can do it. Thank you, frog. There you see what I mean. It's kind of tough. If you slip off the frog, you can't actually jump. Thanks, frog. Go right, please. An RNG monkey is here to snipe you with these frickin' mushrooms. And believe it or not, this monkey has fantastic aim. He will snipe you from like, I don't know, 30 meters to the right. No problem. He's gonna hit you. See ya. And now we get this fantastic thing where the mushrooms come out of the barrels. Which isn't a problem now, but might be later. We'll address that when we get there. Yeah, this is good pace. I have to say, this is cool. Okay, so that was jungle. So you can see what I mean by it being quite expensive to miss jungle. And now we're going into my least favorite part of the game, which is desert. Which is kind of funny too, because there's a lot of cool tricks there. But failing it is tremendously expensive. And we just got introduced to Super Hammer. So we can start breaking blocks, yeah. These blocks are tremendously cool. You can break the game in so many ways with these blocks. And we will later on, so then you'll see exactly how broken this game is. I don't know how they make stages sound Egyptian with the Game Boy sound chip, but they did. Good, so I'm gonna throw these mummies into each other. That's gonna kill the skull, good. Not get stuck on the rope. You can do this without killing the skull, but it's a tough strat. You can actually kill the frogs with the coconuts and the hammers. Some enemies are... you went right. Why did you go right? That's really strange. Flip this, and... hardest backflip wall kick of the game. There. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. Today it wasn't too bad. I've stood there trying to get that backflip for 40 seconds. In earlier runs, so no problem. I'm gonna try and get this. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes! Thank you! Whew, that was something. And now, I know the Dangy Can Gang are going to be quite interested in this. We're gonna do a pretty huge glitch in the game. And this, the way this works is I'm going to jump into a space missing a tile. And that's going to break the game wide open. We call it IFG, which is Infinite Fall Glitch. I'm gonna do it in 5-6. And what we actually do by that is we start overflowing some values and make the game start executing some memory addresses it shouldn't be. And yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Okay, good. So, I'm gonna try and get this. It might not work. I might actually find out that I failed it 2 minutes later on, and the game might reset without saving. But I'm still gonna do it. Get this, break these two. Jump off. Make the hammer fall down. Back on. Come on. Okay, good. Nice. Nice. So I'm gonna do the backflip grab thing again, tumble once, and tumble again. The key is stuck, so we don't actually have to go and break all these blocks apart now. Because now I can just break these, walk up to the door, no problem. Okay, so the big danger now is I might still crash the game from doing the IFG. And I will know in this cutscene. Fingers crossed. And I will address the major glitches thing as well. No major glitches is actually now called all stages. Please, please, please. Thank you. Earth. So, all stages mean I can actually do the IFG. And it's a better description, instead of doing like no major glitches. Against against my better judgment, I'm gonna try a really tough trick called Pyramid Jump. Don't rush me, please. And this is like, if I'm a few frames late here, this is not gonna work. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Yes, nice. I don't usually get that, so I am I am quite excited about getting that. So now, instead of doing all these item boxes like the game wants you to do, I'm just gonna do this. And the key is gonna get stuck up there instead, and hey! What do you know? We can just pick up the key then, no problem. If you have to do it casually with no glitches, or that's actually not a glitch, that's how ejection works in the game. But if you were to not do that, that's a really tough stage. Good. Actually a really good desert. The key in this game, actually, it has 8 seconds before it despawns and spawns back in its original place. And here are these walking heads. I have no idea what these are, but they make me think of like licorice, like Haribo licorice, for some reason. If you grab these guys too early, they actually don't have a hitbox, so you can't hit DK with them. So you have to wait until the walking heads start walking, really. As dumb as that might sound. Ooh, swig of water. And now comes Airplane. Airplane is super duper fun because there's a lot of cool tricks. It looks super impressive when done right, and it's generally quite safe. So this marks about the halfway point of the game. I keep saying remember to grab the girl. Thing is, you can't. Pauline is not a girl, she's just a couple of solid blocks that you can clip through. That's all she is. How did I miss that freaking elevator? Okay, that's close. I'm gonna do a corner clip here. Let's be super careful about it. There we go. And then there's this thing. I know a lot of the runners hate this stage because this jump is super simple, but everyone always fails it. There we go. It's really easy to bonk on the corner up top there. And then there's this stage here which looks impressive, but it's actually quite simple. Good. Back to grab and see ya. So this stage, this world actually is a bit more about just getting jumps right. There aren't many glitches. Oh, thank God. I almost thought I failed that. Yes, but she is. She's just some blocks. I mean, if you look at Jungle in the boss, you can actually go up to Pauline, and you walk up to her like, I've come to save you, milady. And she just stands there doing her little dance, like totally unimpressed with the fact that you actually managed to sort of sneak up to her. And at that point, you could have just run off with her, but no. She just stands there like a lump. Does nothing. One thing. Alright. This isn't that tough of a stage. It's more the fact that you just have to avoid all these bullets. I guess this is the closest to a bullet hell that the game has. Maybe with the exception of some of the stages in World 8. I'll just wait now because I was a little late there. There we go. So, fun thing, can anyone in chat tell me what makes Mario close the door and what makes him leave it open? It's actually really simple. Sometimes he closes it, sometimes he doesn't, but does anyone know why? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 swings. That's the trick to that. If you do 10 swings, you always roll to the left instead of the right. Then you don't roll onto the spikes and look stupid. Okay, that is to say, dub this the run killer because that's what it does. You can do an early cycle here. I'm not gonna do that because I just end up messing it up. So I'll wait for this. And this. Throw it on. I'm gonna flip here. Wait for the key to come down. Place this. And that lets me skip this whole thing that the game sort of wants you to do. Had I actually done it right, but I didn't. So never mind. Do it one more time. I was in a bad position there. But this is actually a really time-intensive trick. Oh, see, that's what I thought. Holy crap. I almost ran straight into that. Oh well. No problem. So can I get swag jump? Hey, got swag jump. Mario starts in midair here, so if you press A just as the stage begins, he just jumps up. It does absolutely nothing but add swag, and your run doesn't count if you don't get it. It's a gentlemanly thing. That's what it is. Okay. So now we're coming up on Iceberg. Iceberg is probably the toughest part of the game. You can lose minutes to stupid little things, and there are some tricks you have to do that just are plain awful. Come on. So there's a bit of waiting here, and I tried to like figure out a strat for this. If you ever manage to clip through this ice here, but you just have to wait for the fireball. So that's what we're gonna do. Mario is just gonna backflip against the wall. And I'll let these guys out. And I'll do sort of like a stupid jump here. There we go. I don't think you're meant to do that jump. But as long as I know how, I'm still gonna do it. This though, I have to do a handspring wall jump off of the right edge of the screen. That is super duper tough. This could take 50 minutes, or not minutes, 50 seconds. Or I could get it first try, no problem. We got this. Anyone who's played this game knows that there's an octopus down in the bottom. That octopus scared the hell out of me as a kid. And here we come up on the two last penguins alive in the game. And now they're dead. Kill the animals. And these guys, they can jip you. They can push you off onto the spikes, no problem. They look harmless, but they are really murderous. For this stage, I'm gonna do a clip called a crusher clip. There are some other things you can do to clear the stage, but the crusher clip is easily the safest one. So not this crusher, but this one. Hey! Hey! I completely messed that up. One more time. Come on. There we go. I'm gonna get into trouble for saying this, but there's the hardest trick of the game is coming up, which is called icicle jump. You'll get that like 1 in every 100 runs. It saves 20 seconds, and you just have to go for it. It's the ultimate swag thing in the whole game. So I'll go for the icicle jump. Let's go. If I get this, I'm gonna scream like a 4th grader. Just beware. No. Okay. I got the jump, but I didn't get off in time. That's fine. That's usually how this works. You get sort of the jump, and then... I'm not gonna get that, am I? No. Okay. I'll just wait for this. But you can jump up there. It's a task level strat that we just started doing because we have nothing better to do with our lives. And that's not a joke either. It's it is actually a task strat. It's really hard, but we still do it because we're morons. Okay. I'll still try to get this, but I am super duper late now, so this is probably gonna look really strange. I'm not too... Yeah, see, that's what I thought. I didn't get the ultimate swag, guys. I'm sorry. That's, we Norwegians have no swag. If I had actually gotten that, I would have been surprised. That's an insanely tough trick. But every time we do get it, I've gotten it a few times, every time we do get it is... you know, you'd think the skies had started raining down chocolates or something. that it might actually be a frame perfect trick. And this being a 60 FPS game, you know, I'm gonna do a trick shot here. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll do that. I'm sure that's helpful. Still works. Usually I just throw it up, but apparently I didn't hold up there. My gamepad has some opinions on what I do and what I don't do in a run, so I'll place it here because he is over to the right. These squids actually also change the RNG. Every time they swim, they can swim a different amount of pixels each time, so the game has to decide. Wall kick, please. Please. Please! Thank you. Oh, don't die. Holy crap. One more time. For some reason, this too is kind of a hard wall jump to get. As you can probably tell. I've gotten every single one of them. Except this one for some reason. It's strange. Okay. We're entering the Walrus Factory now, which is a stage that has 3 of the walruses. We have sort of an affinity in the community for naming things in the game, so the walruses are named Walter. So Walter the Walrus is going to either help me or he is going to hurt me. And I'll guarantee you he is not out to help me today. He usually isn't. So I want this guy to face left. Face left, you stupid fleabag. Thank you. That makes this a lot more easy to deal with. Good. The walruses are so strangely coded too. Yeah, get over here, you. You can actually do an infinite fall glitch off of the walrus. No problem. I have no idea why that works, but it does. I'm still looking for a way to implement that as a strat. This stage is usually okay. What's difficult about this is you have to do some stuff with the icicles. And the icicles, even though they move slow, can have some strange hitboxes sometimes. Good. Right, 7-Eleven has a tough jump. And the reason it's tough is because of this guy down here. Is that late? No, just barely. He's running around like nobody's business. Like the sky is falling, we're all gonna die. And so you can't actually just jump him and climb up, because he is way too fast for that. Good. So, pretty average iceberg, I would say. We're coming up on... if you've ever played this game casually as a kid, then the next world will probably have given you nightmares at some point. Which is Rocky Valley, and that's also the longest world of the game. It has 16 stages, and they all are pretty darn hard. And it also introduces my least favorite enemy of the entire game, which is the porcupines. The porcupines are no different than the other wall huggers in the game, but it's just always in the way. And some stages have like 6 of them, so... I did not explain, no, why the door sometimes stays open and sometimes it doesn't. I had no idea until Ludwig von Koopa told me that if the timer is below 150, the door stays open, and if it's over, it closes. Grab the key, please, Mario. What are we doing with our lives here? Let's get this right. No! Don't you dare. Another interesting fact here is that the bubbles when Mario is underwater actually changes the RNG. So here are the porcupines. And if I even let one of them out, it's usually just mayhem. So I'm gonna try not letting out because I have better things to do with my life than avoid these stupid things. So now comes the waterfalls. The waterfalls are absolute hell for anyone who has troubles with mashing, such as me. So holy crap. Can I get early bird cycle? I'll try. Oh, yes, I can. But I messed up the movement for triggering this guy. Come on. This boss is absolute hell. It's really RNG dependent. It has all these freaking porcupines. DK can just screw you over with this RNG. Like this. Come on. Flip. Ugh, why you gotta be like this, porcupine? Get out of the way! You can't get that. Oh, he didn't flip. Interesting. Ha! I actually thought I knew the RNG pattern for this, but I spent a lot of time in Dash 1, so I guess not. The next stage is kind of interesting because it's been rerouted a lot, and it's kind of tough to get. I have to do a double tumble glitch. But in this case, instead of doing a second tumble, I'm going to grab onto a hammer, because that's the same thing as a tumble. And then the key sticks. But you have to navigate around these guys. And preferably not kill them, because every time you kill something with a hammer in this game, it's pretty much like 2 seconds of time loss. Oh, is that late? Is that late? Is that late? No, thank the stars, it's not late. Grab the hammer. Or not. Cool. So we're gonna clip a little bit here. We're gonna clip the roof and the elevators. The elevators are coded really strangely in the game, so clipping through them is no problem. The roof, however, is just jump onto the spring, hold down and left, and that's it. And here I just used the key. I noticed that some of you were quite upset with me when I talked about DK Jr. So I'm gonna be nice to DK Jr. here. Because DK Jr., as you can tell, is caged up here, right? We don't like keeping our monkeys in cages, do we? Nah, we don't. So I'm gonna be nice and let him out. And he was not nice to me, but that's fine, I have a strat for that. So I place it there, and hey, there he goes. He can still kill you if you touch him, so don't touch him. But there he goes. See you, DK Jr. So now I actually have to use the hammer for this, which is okay. And there he goes. He just wraps around the screen. But he went off on his own adventures. So now you can't call Peter on me, because I was quite nice to him. And shout outs to Simon Nod for pointing that out. I didn't think you could do that, but he was like, why didn't you try? I was like, hey, it works. I have no idea why that works, but it works. These boulders are RNG controlled, so I can't really do much about them other than stand around and wait. Okay. And here you can tell my shtick with these freaking waterfalls. We're coming up on something I hate. I hate it tremendously, but I'm still gonna try and do it, which is, this stage has it all. It has mushrooms, it has flowers, it has waterfalls, and fish, and monkeys. Everything is in here. And it's all really terrible. And of course, you did that. What I'm trying to do is make it up here while I'm small. Ah. Close, but not quite. And that sometimes lets you get a jump up. You can still do it when you're big. I'll backflip grab this. Just face plant here. And hey! See you later. Because when you do a single tumble like that, Mario is invincible. So you can just walk across the spikes. The mushrooms will just clip through you, no problem. Here we're gonna do a base jump. I'll just backflip grab the key, jump off, just hold left, and see ya. There are a couple of different ways to do this. I'll just do the normal way because, well, the fast way kinda sucks. And I'm not good at it, so... Oh, I place it there. Interesting. There we go. So the next stage is just do a lot of jumps real fast. So I'll try my best. Backflip, jump, backflip, backflip, and spring! Thank the stars. That doesn't always work. You have to be on pace for that. Okay, so I'm gonna do a reset after this, because I'm setting up for a really neat trick that involves going out of bounds to beat the next boss. But it doesn't work unless I reset. And I can hear the rest of the Danky Can gang really tearing their hair out for that, because it's kind of a risky trick. But I'm still gonna do it because I want to show off as much cool stuff as I can. I mean, this is a marathon. Who cares about the time and estimates, right? Besides, we've already had 2 world records. So I would think the going fast aspect is kind of... Don't go down, please. There is a jump you can do here. I've said so many times I'm not gonna try it, but I'll try it once. If it doesn't work, I'll just go normal strats. So I'll set up by... hang on, I gotta get into position. That's right. Ooh, close, but not quite. You have to jump just as you're getting off the edge there. It's really, really tough. You can buffer using select or start, but that's kind of tough too. Okay. Ew. This flower up here is like, you would think it's easy to sort of avoid the seeds. But they're... Fall down. Thank you. They're surprisingly in the way. A lot of the time. The Usunar apparently. And also, you saw the cutscene, I mean. It looked like Mario just caught on fire when he went into the lava. The game lies. All that happens if you fall into the lava is you die. So, the game lies. Don't listen to the game. So the game wants you to go up and do this whole thing with a lot of jumps and stuff. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna wait here until I see this rock. And the rock here has ice physics, so you gotta be a bit careful with it. Just do a jump. That was kind of slow, so I'll just wait for this one. And there we are. And now for the trick I was talking about. I'm gonna do an out of bounds thing. And I'm going to position Mario in a place that sort of just ends the boss. Like no boss fight. So I'll just go here. Try not to get hit. There we are, so I'm out of bounds. There we go. I'm done. No problem. And now, of course, we're coming up on Tower, which is the final world of the game. And Tower has only boss fights, so you're gonna be seeing DK and DK Jr. every time. So I'm gonna reset, then I'll go for Last Seed, because that gives me favorable RNG throughout most of the beginning Tower. So as long as I am optimal with my movements here, the RNG is gonna be the same, and that's good because this can cause a lot of pain, especially 9-3. And no, the out of bounds thing is not a major glitch, because you play all the stages. Like I said before, no major glitches is the old name for the category that is now known as all stages. Okay, I am late here, that might be terrible. Because I messed up the backflip, so now I'm not sure about this, but I'll just MacGyver this, I guess. Okay. We're gonna abuse some hitboxes here. There we go, see ya. Because every time an enemy falls and is upside down, it has no hitbox. Oh, please. No! Just barely. I could have made that. Instead I now have to wait for this. Oh. I don't know what that mushroom did, but it got back up. And now, ladies and gentlemen, sweet, sweet revenge over this frickin' flea bag. We're gonna lock this thing up and leave him to die in the tower. Don't egg me, thank you. Sorry, DK Jr. So DK Jr. is locked up in the tower. We'll never see him again, I hope. And now we're coming in for the final 4 stages of the game. I am going to reset here as well. The reason for that is if I don't, I'm gonna be wasting like a minute to bad RNG. And no joke, literally a minute. These stages are fairly simple, it's just about getting up to DK. This is the stage that has DK actually controlling like a gate. And if you're in bad luck and have bad RNG, then it just won't open the gate for you. So there's it. This is probably the RNG where it's just gonna open it right now. 2. Good. If you overshoot here, I can't just press up and just go mad with the swinging, because then I overshoot right into DK and he just sort of kills you. Crumbling Tower, which is no problem from a speedrun perspective anyhow. And now here comes the final boss. Get ready for the awesome final boss music, guys. You're not gonna hear much of it, but it's really good. I recommend you look it up. So I'll get on top of this. It was kind of slow, that's good. That gives me a little bit of time to get up here with this. Hey, we got him. Alright. Well, that's DK94. There's no way this monkey's ever coming back. Right? Right? I mean, it couldn't be, could it? Couldn't possibly be, right? He's not coming back, is he? Yeah, of course he's coming back. You didn't think that was the final boss, did you? That's not the final boss. This is the final boss. And this music is even more awesome. Let's see if I can get the wall jump here. Come on. Come on, Mario! Okay. I'm sorry guys, thanks for the GGs, but I lied. This is what I do. I lie. On stream. But that was a good round 1 though. Everything about DK in this fight has a super weird hitbox. Okay, good. So I have a barrel between these two faces. What I'm gonna do is stand... Oops, I fell off. That's unfortunate. What you can do is stand all the way to the left there and just jump. If you don't have a barrel and want to save it, you can do what I did, which is stand down to the right, because nothing will ever spawn there. Oh, can I do this in 1 round? Let's see. That's probably too late. No, it's not. It's not. There we go. And the monkey is dead. Huh, 107.32. That's really good. Oh yeah, that was great. Okay. So now we get to see Pauline giving Mario a mushroom, and he grows to his normal size, and yeah, smack. And DK Jr. is sort of lurking in the background. And there we are, and we get a nice little cast shot right there, and here you can clearly see it's Pauline. And everything was all a big act. And thank you very much for the GGs, guys. I'm not lying anymore, I promise. That was it. So that's gonna be it from me and from DK94. Shoutouts to everyone who took the time out to watch. I really appreciate that. Shoutouts to the entire community and to everyone in chat. And with that, I believe I am done. I believe Tristan is up next. That's gonna be cool. So thank you all for watching. Have a great day. and I hope to see you all around soon.